Alrighty, we're live. Let's do a countdown. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. We're here for another week. We're going on week 3. Hope you guys are doing great today. Hope everything's going well with you and your families and your life. Hope everything is lining up. Hope everything is divine timing and all that fun stuff. Welcome in, guys. Welcome into Out of the Matrix. I'm your host, Jonathan Garrido. This is week 3 here. We're stacking days, we're stacking weeks. All right, we're going week by week, day by day. Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope you guys are enjoying the upgrade. This week I wanted to go with the iPhone camera, the iPhone back camera. So I can't see how this is going right now. It could not even be recording right now, and I could be going to oopsie. But I'm just gonna take that risk. Okay. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hope you guys are doing very well today. Hope everything is going as it should for you guys. I'm here. I'm in the lab. I'm working. I'm trying to get better. Trying to get better at this. So welcome in. This is week 3 of Out of the Matrix. I'm your host, Big Johnny Blitz. If you guys don't know that other alter ego, but that's okay. You guys won't find out about him for a while or ever. And we're trying to build, man. We're trying to build. It's been a crazy week. I will say that, man. This world is ruthless. It's undefeated. So this week's title is this week's theme, or this week's title is "The Cycle Ends with Me." Okay, and so I'm going to use this podcast to kind of open up on some different topics, just kind of expand on some different things that I've been working through in my personal life, and just kind of where we're at. So that's the theme of this week. So we're gonna go down a rabbit hole here. I'm getting everything lined up. Just give me one sec. So yes, this week I wanted to go with the back camera. I thought the back camera would be a good add. I thought it would be a good touch. Thought it'd be a little different than the setup we had currently with the webcam. Nothing wrong with the webcam. It's still right there, posted. I might switch back, but I just wanted to see how this week would look with this. So I'm gonna play with it. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank you guys. So far, we've cracked 5 subscribers on YouTube. Let's go! Woo! I would put on some noise effects, but we're not doing all that. This is raw, uncut, real deal. But I just really want to thank you guys because 5 subscribers is a lot. I don't know. Maybe one of them is my wife and another one is my family, or my friends, but I want to thank you guys for 5 subs. Last week we got 16 views on the pod. So this week let's push for 30. Let's try to double it. I really just appreciate you guys for listening to me talk mindlessly. Hope you guys are getting knowledge from it. But I just want to thank you guys for that because we're building bricks, man. 5 subs sounds like a little bit today, but then it goes to 6 and 7 and 8 and 10 and 20. And ultimately, we're building a foundation here. I'm not trying to. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was destroyed in a day. Knowledge. Okay, guys. So let's hop in. So the theme of this week is the cycle ends with me, right? I don't know if it's self-explanatory, but generally that's what I'm stamping. I'm planting my flag on that notion that the cycle is going to end with me. Right. And so that could be taken a bunch of different ways. That can be taken, left, right, up and down. But I'm going to touch on this. So the cycle is going to end with me. So what does that mean? So that means a lot of things for me right now. So I want to touch on this before we go down a rabbit hole, but nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. It's about progress. It's about making progress. It's about getting a little better every day. And figuring it out as we go, right? Nobody in this world knows everything, right? And when we do think we know everything, we're wrong, right? We're naive. Because I know where I'm at today. I know being 24, I don't know anything, right? I know I'm still at the inception, right? Like I know I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be very young. I'm not gonna know. Of course, I know some things, right? I'm not gonna minimize myself, but a lot of it I still have to learn, right? So nobody's perfect. It's about progress, right? So I want to live by that this week because you know And I know I'm not alone in this, but I know everybody's chasing perfection, right? Everybody's chasing perfection to some extent. Everybody wants better, um, and everybody wants it today, right? Like everybody when they're trying to lose weight, they're trying to how can I lose the most amount of weight the fastest and the easiest, and every other adjective you see, like but it's about progress, whereas if you lose 1 pound a week for an entire year or specifically 1 pound of fat a year, that's 52 pounds of fat that you lost in a year because you were just in a consistent deficit, right? Because you weren't perfect, right? You probably had a cheeseburger here and then, right? Or you probably had some ice cream here and then, but you ultimately made progress, right? Because it's the little things. Okay. So actually, let me see. I'm going to do this real quick. All right. Yeah, we're recording. Let's go. All right. I'm going to put you back down. I thought that'd be cool. I go, I go hop in and okay. So boom. Okay. So the cycle ends with me. So I'm the elder right now at this point in my life, right? I'm the elder, right? My parents, they're getting older, right? They're my elders, but they're starting to phase out, right? My mother, she's 59 years old. Wait, did I do that math right? 50, 60, 58 years old. She's 58 years old. My father, he's 65 years old. My stepmom, she's 65 years old, right there with him. And so I'm the new elder. My older brother told me that, Robert. He told me that recently. Like, bro, you set the standard now. You set the standard. It's not about forget what mom and pops are doing or whatever they got going on. I set the standard, right? And so that's sitting with me. I do set the standard in all ways. And so how am I going to set that standard, right? So the cycle ends with me. So really you can take that anyway, but for me and where I'm at today, I'm I'm doing this podcast. I'm trying to build this podcast. I'm trying to build my family, right? I'm trying to build that legacy. I'm trying to love them. And I feel like this really touches on where I'm at today because, it's hard to break cycles, It's hard to break different curses, People you can call them whatever they want, curses or, just something that's lingering, or a cycle, really, it's hard because even with me as I get older and I learn more and I'm trying to grow, there's only so much that I can know. Hey Stink, you know. So um it's hard, right? Because people don't even know that they're in a cycle, right? Or that they're cursed or that something like that is going on. Until really it's too late, or you're too far gone or whatever the case may be. So this is what I'm dealing with. So the cycle ends with me. So recently I've been learning about financial literacy, financial literacy as a whole. I've been learning more about money and how money works and, really what this world values, right? And that's a cycle there, Um, I don't come from money. I don't come from, any of that, right? So, you know, neither does my family, like we're products of our environment. And so, with that being said, we don't know or I didn't grow up knowing these certain things, these certain like there's certain like thresholds and there's certain like gates kind of that you have to get through at certain points in your life. And there's generations of people that, end up don't break that cycle or don't break that curse, like the financial one, right? Like, you know, um, I'm sure most of my ancestors lived paycheck to paycheck, and even in this world, they're like, being better about it, and I'm trying to, prioritize, but the world is ruthless. And so this is a cycle that me and myself and where I'm at today, I'm trying to break, you know, through learning about money, through learning not just how to make money, but how to keep it, right? Not how to spend it, more so how to keep it and flip it and double it, right? Because that's what these people are doing. When they break that money curse, that money curse, it drags generations down, whatever that may be, whether it's, because of bad money management or just, not being focused or not having the resources or whatever it may be. But so, I want that cycle to end with me. I want to be able to pass down not just anything, and not just anything that's tangible, anything that's, money wise. I don't want to pass, not that I it's not just about passing down money or passing down houses or passing down stock. Like, I want to pass down legacy. Like, I want to pass down real lessons. Like, okay, guys, this is what you do when you turn 25. Like, when you turn 25, you're gonna have X amount of money in this account or whatever with this. This is how you're gonna do it. This is how you're gonna keep it. Like, I'm gonna die one day. Like, this is how you move. So, and I've been going deep on this recently because I've been just seeing how the market works and just different how literally you get paid in stock, and you get paid in stock, and once you get equity in a company, you're able to, it's a different game now. It's a different game now. You can take debt out on that stock and just keep it in the market, and now you have leverage because now you have ownership, right? You have equity. So, I want that cycle to end with me right there. Um Not that we're in poverty or anything, but just that I know that I can change that trajectory for my family. So, knowing that I have that on my back, it's like, I can do this, it is right there within reach. It's just about, am I going to do it? Am I going to sacrifice? Am I going to do it? But literally, we don't realize it, but we're a couple of good decisions away from changing the entire trajectory of our family history. So I'm going to make sure that cycle ends with me right there. I want to make sure that not just my kids and their kids are financially set, but I want them to be emotionally, behaviorally set. I want them to be right mentally, emotionally, physically, right? Emotional curses, whatever that may be. Everybody's got their own lane. Everybody's got, things that they've dealt with, whatever that may be, trauma, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want to pass that down to my kids. I don't want my kids to have, me and my issues, and I go out, I pass that down just indirectly. I didn't try to, but because, I have things that I haven't worked through yet, and, that's lingering, I want to break that curse. I don't want to pass that down to Jonathan or Anthony or, anybody else. And I don't want Haley to sit here and be, dealing with any emotional curses that I'm 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 bringing to the table, you know. But it's about choosing that, right? I can easily sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, or whatever the case may be. However, I want to cope with it, whatever that may be. But ultimately, I'm choosing them. I'm choosing this, right? That's what matters. Um, behavioral curses. Um, there's there's so many ways to look at it. Really, everybody everybody lives life to a certain point, and that life shapes them, right? Every little experience that they go through shapes who they are and who they become down the line in the world. And so we only have so much control over that, right? Like, my childhood was my childhood, and like my adolescence was my adolescence, and I can't go back in the past and change anything. Not that I'd want to. I love everything that played out, and who I am today. But it's just about understanding, like, okay, this happened in the past, but it doesn't define me. It's not about what happens, but how you react to it. And that's why me now as an adult, me now as a young man, I want to take that step, and I want to make sure, like, okay, this is ending with me. Like, whatever this is, whatever is lingering, whatever I may call it, whatever that is. Um, whether that's me, whether that's my family living paycheck to paycheck, or just not being financially literate, or just the emotionality of it, right? Um, just I want to pass down to the boys that it's okay to have emotions. Like, it's okay to cry. Like, it's okay. We'll get through this together. I want them to know that they can emotionally regulate, and that dad's going to be here. Not just physically, but he's going to be here for a shoulder to cry on. Um, so let me take a step back. Take a step back here. Actually, give me a sec. Okay, it's getting too hot in here. So I'm speaking facts, man. I'm speaking from the heart. So the cycle ends with me, right? I'm stamping it. I'm planting my flag that, and I want you guys to do this as well. I want whatever is lingering in your guys' life, whatever you feel like is still there, and really, even if you feel like there's nothing there, like, it's there. It's just you don't know it. We're each other. We're ourselves. We're biased. So it really takes that self awareness, and it really might take someone else. It does take someone else. So even me, when where I'm at currently, I'm about to go start seeing a therapist. I want to go start seeing a therapist, start talking through my life, and just kind of having that outlet, because nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm a different person today than I was yesterday. And so, I want to move forward like that, and really, this life is hard, man. This life is hard. Nobody said it was easy. And people try to go through it like it's easy, by themselves, and just trying to handle and push through things when, it's impossible. Like, I was seeing something recently that we can't get anywhere without people. We can't get anywhere without people. And so, if that's the case in that sense, how could I get through something that's dragging me down alone? Um, and so, moving forward, we got to do better, right? And it's about that. It's we can sit here and go back and forth all day, but um, ultimately we want to be better, right? We want to be better. We want to do better, and we want to pass down good habits, and it's the word I'm looking for. We don't want to pass down the bad habits, right? We want to break the cycle. We don't want to keep the cycle going, right? Um, and so I'm going too deep. I told you guys I was going to go down a rabbit hole. So that's where I'm at, and so let me know where you guys are at as well, man. Please, in the comments, tell me, am I hitting it on the button? Am I not? Like, how are you guys working through everything that's going on in the world, man? Because it's spooky, man. It's spooky, but like, I love it, man. It's like, it's the best game. It's the best game to play. But ultimately, right now, I'm trying to build a life that I partially didn't see growing up, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I lived a different life growing up, but I just know for where I'm at, for where Jonathan is, for where Anthony is, for where Haley is, um, like I'm here to build that life for them. Um, and so that's okay that, I had a different upbringing and Haley had a different upbringing, but now for our babies and for our life, we can change that. We have the power to change it. And that's all it's about. We don't want to, you can sit here and let circumstances determine where you are and where you go and who you are, but we have the ultimate power to make a change and be better, right? So it's just about that, man. It's just about choosing what do you want in your life, man. You can make easy decisions, you can make hard decisions, right? So you make easy decisions, you got a hard life. You make hard decisions, you got an easy life, So I always heard that one. So um, I'm chatting. I'm chatting. All right. I don't know where we're at as far as times. Okay. Um, so that's where I'm at, man. So we're building, right? I'm not perfect today, but I'm getting there. Not that I want to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect, man. But it's just about trying to get a little better, man. Because, we can just sit here and wallow in self-pity and just be, oh, ooh, poor me, but not poor me. Just, it's just me. So let me go get it. Let me go do better, right? Um, that was a lot. That was a lot. My voice cracked there. Oh, man. So, yeah. So I'm ending it. I'm planting that flag. That cycle's ended with me, right? I'm here. I'm in this world. And I'm going to bend it to my will. I'm going to bend it to my will. And I'm never gonna give up. As cliche as that is, it's just you got to fight for what you believe in. You can't. That's if you're not gonna stand for what you believe in, you stand for nothing, bro. So I'm planting that flag. Um, okay, that was a lot. I'm kind of opening up too much on the internet. It's crazy, but I'm just gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust the process, man. I think this is good. I want to truly thank you guys for coming out and showing support on week 3 of the podcast. I'm just trying to slowly stack bricks here. And, it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. But I want to see the body work as it builds. And, I'm glad I have you guys here along for the ride. Um, and I'm here with you guys along with your ride, for life. We're all going through life. We're all trying to figure it out. So let's figure it out together. Right. And let's get out of the matrix while we're doing it. Right. We don't have to sit here and be glued to TV and glued to get out of here. So I want to truly, truly thank you guys for showing up and showing the podcast support. You guys can follow me on my socials. You guys know where I'm at. Jonathan Garrido. I'm on all socials: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm on podcast. I'm on Spotify for podcasters. Um, I'm on LinkedIn as well. You can find me on LinkedIn. That's where I do all my corporate fun there. And so thank you guys again for showing up. I will see you guys next Sunday for episode 4. I don't know what's gonna happen this week. I don't know what the theme is gonna be next week. We're gonna spitball it. We're gonna figure it out. But hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you nerds later. Bye, guys. Love you guys. Enjoy. Love each other. Let's get better. Deuces. Bye.